So this is how I make a green juice with my Juicepresso. The first thing I do is I fill up a sink full of water and I add a vegetable wash, fruit and vegetable wash, and I put all my produce into the sink and I let it soak. Let it soak about 5 minutes to remove any waxes or residues that may have been on from the grocery store. Like I said, I buy organic, but sometimes there's still some dirt and particles left on it. Take my little green scrubby after it's soaked, then rinse everything off. And I leave all the leaves and all the skins on all of my produce. That's why I want to make sure I get all of the dirt and particles left on. I don't want that in my juice. So I rinse and wash everything to make sure everything's clean. And then I'll set it aside to dry. After I wash the vegetables, I put them on the side to dry. And after I've taken a little towel and dried them off, I cut them for appropriate sizes to go into the juicer. As I said, I leave all the skins on because there's a lot of nutrients in the skins. So I just cut them up big enough to fit through the feeding tube of the Juicepresso. So that makes it easy. I remove all of the seeds from peppers, but I keep the skins and all that. And same thing with the cucumbers. I'll keep the skins. Celery I don't cut, I just break into a size appropriate enough to go into the feeding chute on the Juicepresso. And also I leave, there's a lot of nutrients in the greens on vegetables, so I leave them. So I've cut all the vegetables up into appropriate sizes to fit into the feeding chute. First thing I want to do before I juice is I want to make sure that the plug, this is the pulp chute plug, is pushed all the way in. Because when I clean it, I pull it open so I can clean out the chute, and I want to make sure it's fully inserted before I start to juice. So after I check that, I'm ready to go. Turn on the Juicepresso. I juice a lot of leafy greens, and they don't have a lot of juice. So I want to make sure that I follow my leafy greens with something with a little more liquid content, like carrots or peppers, so I can really push the more fibrous produce through. Keeping in mind that you want to keep the things that you put into the chute appropriate sizes so that you don't clog your chute or make the chamber too full of roughage. How it's really chopping up the produce, spitting out the juice. The pulp comes out one side, all of your juice comes out the other. If your pulp chute becomes clogged, you can use your tool to pull it out to keep the pulp chute clear and machine running. So after I finish juicing, I store mine in little mason jars because cold pressed juice can store up in the refrigerator for up to 72 hours. That's 3 days. So I have a little strainer because sometimes some extra pulp gets into the juice and I prefer my juice to be completely pulp free. So Juicepresso is pretty good about removing the pulp. So I just pour it through. You can see there's a minute amount of pulp. Then I put my lid on. And it's ready to be stored in the refrigerator for 3 days or until I'm ready to drink it. So the final part is cleaning the Juicepresso. This is by far the easiest part. So I'm just going to take it apart. You have the pusher. Just clean that with some soap and water. Remove any residue. You have the top. This is just where the feeding chute is. Very easy to clean. All of the Juicepresso's parts are BPA free, and they can all go into the dishwasher. Final two parts are the screw and the drum. First, I'm just going to remove any remaining pulp from it. And the Juicepresso comes with the brush that we used to remove some excess from the pulp chute earlier. I'm just cleaning the inside of the screw, the little mesh parts, to remove any trapped bits of pulp or residue. Clean. And then I'll do the same thing with the drum. You see, there's our pulp chute. You can remove the plug. And remove any excess pulp. And it's all out. Gosh, I love this. Get a little soapy sponge around the inside, sanitize it. We're clean. So the last bit is make sure your Juicepresso is unplugged, and if need be, you can wipe it down with a damp sponge to remove any pulp or juice that may have gotten on your Juicepresso. Never submerge the unit itself. Just wipe it clean with a damp sponge. One thing to remember too is these gray feet that are inside your screw are removable. So make sure they're fully pushed on before you begin juicing. And also when you wash your unit, you can remove them so you can fully remove any residue or residual pulp. And that's how you juice with your Juicepresso.